Welcome to today's episode of the Blueprint and Daddy's Girls Talk series. This is episode 7, To Daddy with Love. And I have the amazing host, Jacqueline Thorne, speaker and author at Lady J Thorne on Facebook, IG, and Twitter. LadyJThorne at gmail.com. You can reach her via email. Also, the Aida Sanchez, speaker, author, and coach at I am Aida Sanchez across Facebook, IG, and Twitter. Email info at I am Sage is AidaSanchez.com. Look, you see, I'm so excited because we missed last week, the last day of Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'm super excited that we are able to go live tonight. And this month, June, is Men's Health Month. It's also Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. It's PTSD Awareness Month. So much to celebrate, but we want to talk about To Daddy with Love. How are you ladies doing?
Great. Good evening. Nice to see your lovely faces again.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we have some celebrations. Jacqueline graduated. Woo, woo.
Woo!
Congratulations. We knew you could do it.
Yes.
And you know what? I forgot to say this pre-show. I'm not doing this again. So I've decided in about 3 weeks, I'm going to go for 2 other certifications that I wanted to go for beforehand. It doesn't take as long. However, while I'm in that mode, while those juices are flowing, I'm going to get her done.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yes, I was like, you know what? Now let me go for what I wanted to go for. Right. This was sort of a gift from the former governor. Like, had to apply, and tuition was a gift. Otherwise, it would have cost several thousands of dollars. So I was chosen, and I'm very grateful for that. How and ever. I am up to here with APA style and citations but it all worked out. So thank everyone for their prayers, the confidence, knowing I can do it. I wanted it to be on the other side of it for so long that, again, I was explaining, I'm kind of started shell shocked. Like, do I have to turn into something else? Another layer,
Yes.
so I haven't released it completely yet, but I was very passionate. Was the feedback. I was very clear, and looking forward to the official certification and the digital seal and all of that good stuff. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your prayers, and knowing that I could get through it, through challenges, but I did it. It's done.
And it's worth noting that you did that while working full time
Mhm.
and doing the program with us, doing the
Yes,
show with us, still being daughter to your mom,
yes.
right?
Hmm.
And all of that. So, yes, kudos.
Thank you,
Ku-
thank you, thank
Big,
you.
big, 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 big kudos.
Yes.
Um that's exciting. So see, we celebrate each other and our accomplishments and look, and we'll be praying for you as you climb that next milestone.
Yeah, I plan to be finished before the end of the summer. So,
Wow.
it's a 6 week prep. Well, I've chosen 6 weeks. You can do
Okay.
it sooner, but I'm like, okay, let me do bite-sized pieces.
Okay.
Keep my sanity, and it's like an exam I have to sit for several hours, but I'm getting it done. So before it's over, I'll have 3 sets of letters or initials behind my name. So
I absolutely
thank
love
you.
it.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Oh,
congratulations to all the graduates, no matter what and
yes.
where, out of kindergarten on up, right?
Mhm.
If you have put your mind to something and you completed and you stuck with it and you came to your conclusion, no matter how big or small it is, congrats to you for putting yourself first and learning something new, stretching yourself. Again, this was a great perspective to just see how much I was responsible for, right? That it took this long, these many 300 hours to be exact,
Yes.
for to get through this confirmation that I was a great um, certified public manager. So that's what I
Wow.
achieved, certified public manager. So it's like a mini master's. But
Wow.
yeah,
That
Take
is
months.
incredible. And the encouragement, okay, because what are we? We are real women, real midlife.
Yes,
Real
real
talk.
talk. Yes.
So, what an encouragement to not feel like once we get to a certain age that there's nothing more for us to do. We can't learn, we can't evolve, we can't reimagine
Right.
ourselves and add some
Absolutely.
credentials.
Yes.
So, yes, I love it. I love it. I
Yes.
love it.
Shout
I
out
love it.
to cohort 10. There was 15 of us that crossed. There was 24 started.
Mm,
And I cannot even tell you what gratifying relationships and networking that was done across this state. And I'm just looking forward to the continuation of the gifts that this will release right in the future.
yes.
Mhm.
And to be chosen. Come on now.
All right now.
And to be chosen. It was
Yes.
an application process
Yes.
and stages of review to go through, and to be chosen and gifted to go through a program that was thousands of dollars that you did not have to pay for.
Hey, True. Yes, she was at the graduation. I was lucky enough to have, I was blessed to have about 5 people attend my virtual graduation. So the evidence, was there, right? And it was also my goal to make sure that the layperson understood what I was talking about. It had to be
Yes.
plain enough for anybody to get what I was saying. So thank God for clarity. And you would, I guess, assume as writers, as authors, that oh, should be no big. It's a different, it's a different animal. It's a different concentration. It's not the same. But thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, it's never too late. Keep on learning, keep on striving, keep on being an example, right? It's really about shining, what right? You already
Yes.
have it in you. So I am very, very thankful for this couple of weeks break. And I figured let me just go on ahead, because I don't see, I don't know what daddy had planned. I don't see myself doing something like this again. Unless I'm teaching it.
How
Unless I'm
about
teaching it.
that?
Unless I'm
Yes.
teaching it. Yeah.
And so talking about blazing a trail and doing something different. How about our men's health, right? And we were talking about before we went live. So today's episode is talking about To Daddy with Love, for the men in our lives and men that we know. um I don't know about you, but most don't go readily go to the doctor. Definitely not like we do.
Right.
um and I can think of several men in my lifetime that by the time they did go to the doctor, whatever it was so far down the line that the number of options to manage whatever, heal whatever, were fewer.
Mhm.
Um, so let's unpack that a little bit about prevention versus passiveness, right? And saying it in a loving way, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we can be a little assertive, or in a negative sense aggressive, but it's because we love the men in our lives, right? And we want them to be the best version of themselves, and we want them around as long as we possibly can. So Ada, what are your thoughts around prevention versus passivity when it comes to men and their health?
I believe that prevention is key. My brother is a prime example. He waited to get a colonoscopy, and I mean, 2 decades went by, right? So he went, and they said that it was good that he came because it was at a state where it could have been cancerous. And so now he has to go back within, I think, like 2 months, right? To get, just to make sure everything's good. And so I do believe that, men, you shouldn't be afraid. Men should not be afraid, because it's better to know than to let it go so long, and then when you go, it's too late for them to really help you. So I strongly believe in prevention checkups. Absolutely. Like myself, I mentioned to you ladies, I have a prevention checkup this Sunday.
Mhm.
And so clinics are open. They're open now because they want you to come in and have these preventive exams. So yeah,
And
it's
so, and
so.
that's eliminating an excuse, right? Because the first thing I said is on a Sunday, and you
Mhm.
you were like, absolutely.
Mhm. So it's so important, and I strongly encourage to keep up with those annual checkups. And as Jacqueline mentioned, there are times when, and even I've heard it on television, when they speak about certain exams that they say you should have maybe by the age of 50, that now it's like 40 if you're a person of color, like colonoscopies. They're saying you should go sooner,
Yes.
because a lot of people are getting sick because of their diets, how they eat, and it's causing problems with their health. So it's better to get those preventive exams earlier, and not wait until the standard time that they have set for us to have them done.
What are your thoughts, Jacqueline, about prevention versus passivity when it comes to men and their health?
It's been my experience that ego plays a part in this as well. Um, Men, have the bravado, provider, don't want to be um, in a position where they're looked at as not being strong, right? I'm not even going to mention the opposite, right? If there's anything about not being strong, you want to be here for a while. And you know how you say, oh, 40 is the new 30 and 50 is the new 40. Like, you can't say those things if you don't have health. If your health is not intact, your body is not going to perform the way that you would like it to, right? So I think it's very, very important to learn how to take care of yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, again, like we've said this before, like on the airplane, put your mask on.
Mhm.
You have to breathe before you can help somebody else. So think about the people that you cover, right? And if you want to be around, if you want to continue to be a provider, then prevention is the best route to go, right?
Mhm.
Rule it out early or find out early. Earlier is better than later. Until, like you said, there's nothing else that can be done. So I think again, ego and bravado has a lot to do with men and not being preventative. And you know, we want you around, right? You want to see this journey through. We need our partners, and so please, it's just so important, right? Not only for you, but the example that you're setting for your sons and your daughters coming behind you as well, right? Hereditary, knowing what runs in the family, all of that is very, very, very important.
Yes, I can definitely attest to that. I believe my grandfather had prostate cancer and passed away from advanced stage prostate cancer, but he didn't go to the doctor early enough, and being advanced in age, and by the time he went, his options for treatment were less than had he gone earlier. And then it was ironic for me to see his decline, because at one space in time he was like, I'm ready to go see my Lord, and all that kind of stuff. And then as time began to wind down, thoughts started, you know, like, wow, I wonder how this would have been different had I gone earlier when I had the first symptom or the first notion, or when his wife told him, well, maybe you should go to the doctor and that sort of thing, and contemplating where he would have been at that particular period in time had he gone earlier,
Mm.
as opposed to making sure life insurance policies are in place and all that kind of thing. I thought that was interesting, and very telling, um, around the health, men in their health, because I felt like if you really love your family as much as you say you love your family, why not make sure you're as healthy as you possibly can be, so you can be with your family as long as you possibly can.
Right. And you bring up something I thought about, and you stated the same thing about insurance, right? About health insurance. I mean, about life insurance, right? Again, that is a part of that whole umbrella, right? Health care, having insurance, making sure your family doesn't have to suffer or scrape up money, should, you happen to pass. Again, those are things that you need to be preventative about, right? You can't think about retirement, when you're about to retire. You have to think about it years and years and years ahead, before you're in that position. So the same thing, preventative. You want to enjoy. You want to get to the point where you can retire and enjoy life, and not, running back and forth to doctor ailments. I mean, your body is going to do what it's going to do anyway. However, you want the best quality of life possible. But that insurance, yeah, I think that's another key factor. Get those policies in order.
And I like that, the quality of life, because, like you mentioned, for the retirement piece, they tell us that we should go to retirement class, our first one, within 10 years. If you're planning on retiring 10 years in advance
Mhm.
of retiring, and then again at the 5-year mark, and and that seems counterproductive, right? Because you think, oh, okay, I'm going to retire, oh, next year, so let me think about my retirement. No, you need enough window to know what you may need,
Hmm.
if you have enough to retire without working. How about that? Right. And then the cost of retirement also gets into our health care, because if we're not in good health, medication prescriptions are expensive. And when we work every day and you got a check coming in every week, every 2 weeks, or whatever, regularly, getting those prescriptions don't seem like a big deal when you have a full income. But on a retired income, where you get paid once a month, and a $100 prescription every month, when your retirement, your take home pay after taxes and health insurance and all of that, may be $2,500 a month, is a lot of money.
Yes.
Mhm.
Whereas if we take the time now to make sure we're in the best health that we possibly can be. And I think about Ada, where you are now. We talked about as well being in New York and the fires that are happening up north, and how New York is being impacted. And you've been in all day, and we all know how Ada likes to go, right? And,
Oh, I can't.
and she is like, I don't even know what to do with myself,
This is day two.
Day two?
Hmm. That I've been in the house.
Wow.
I can't. It's horrible.
Yeah, they're saying wear your. My mother went out today, and she had her mask, and but they are stating, you should wear your mask, because if you must go out, that's how bad it is. Like, the
Mm.
air quality is really, really bad. So we're familiar with quarantining. It hasn't been that long. Excuse me.
But
So,
but then you imagine again with the preventive health measures, right? So Ada being healthy, your mom being healthy, and being told to put on a mask. And if we're already suffering or challenged with a health condition or what have you, of yes, Trudell says yes, it's terrible. I That's like pandemic all over again, right? Something you have no control over and being told basically to stay inside unless you absolutely um have to come out.
The
so
difference
mhm.
here is pandemic, we were able to breathe in the house. You know, we can't open windows. You can still smell the smoke with the windows closed. The visibility is low. And you know, that's the difference. And like right now I have a headache since yesterday. Just have a headache. And having the windows closed, and they say do not turn on ACs. Yeah, because it's recycling that air from the outside, and it's just bad. So I have a air purifier, and I have a fan, but yeah, it's just not good. I tried to open my front door, and the hallways are full of like smelling like smoke. I thought there was a fire in the building. I said, "Oh my God, it's just like really, really smoke." The smell of smoke is just surrounding us.
So
Yeah.
Trudell is saying that she had her air purifiers on all day.
Mm-hmm.
So now imagine the utility bill of having, the oh my gosh. I can't
So
imagine.
Trudell is in New York City.
Are
Yeah.
you? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she must be cuz look, she's telling us it
Mm-hmm.
smells like one big bonfire.
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Really bad.
And this is coming from Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Amazing.
So talk about people who suffer from seasonal
Yes.
depression, right?
Hmm.
Who are impacted by weather conditions and in the winter months where the light days are shorter, um and not even being motivated to leave the house or go out. Wow. I cannot imagine. Well, and who wants to go through the pandemic again and like be stuck in the house? I know I don't want that experience
Hmm.
ever, ever, ever again. What about the flights? Have the flights been impacted? Do you know?
They did mention on the news that flights were being delayed because of the smoke or whatever. I guess the visibility. I don't know, but they did say that there's delays.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, we're gonna pray that the smoke
Pray.
get out of there, and so that you can hit the blue skies again on Monday.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a time to be wise,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, just because you have an AC, doesn't mean that you should use your AC, right? You have to be wise about this, right? Like what's being filtered in the house. So again, don't make it harder on, on yourself than it needs to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, okay. Tudel is saying yes. There are major delays.
Oh,
Mm,
okay. Goodness
that's
gracious.
oh yeah, yeah. I cannot. I yeah. I was in the airport, but that was because of weather down in Texas. In Texas, the flight was delayed from 8 o'clock and ended up not even getting to Kansas City until almost 11. So I
Mm,
didn't get in until two
what happened?
o'clock this morning.
Wow.
Until
Wow.
2 o'clock. So um yeah. So we are impacted by external stuff in life that we have no control over. Zip,
Right.
zilch, zero.
Hmm.
So why will we not be empowered, my brothers, in taking a preventive approach to your health?
Right. And I
Right?
like the example you used, that one medication. can be over $100, right? What if you have multiple
Correct.
symptoms or multiple conditions, right? That 2,500 could easily go down to $1,800, and that's just on medications.
Correct.
Mhm.
You still need a roof over your head. You still need, to pay utilities. Like that. That
Correct.
stuff don't go away. You don't get a retirement version of that, right, Ada? You don't get a retirement rate.
Sure
Is what
don't.
it is. It is what it is.
You sure do not.
Mhm.
Oh wow. And right, and that's not taking into an account co-pays, right? Some insurances have co-pays. So even once you go in, you got to pay the co-pay, you got to get the prescription, and if it's multiple ones, how much money that is. And again, for those of us who have loved ones that may be checking in on us, what happens if somebody has to take care of us or look after us? Um, yes,
Mhm.
yeah, Jackie is saying, just as you mentioned, ego plays a big role with men not going to the doctor. And um
Vulnerable. That's what I couldn't think of, right? It's okay to be
vulnerable.
vulnerable,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because you have to yield to somebody else who is going to give you your diagnosis.
Ooh,
But you need to know. You cannot not know. If you love somebody, if you care from somebody, you cannot not know. And you know when something is operating correctly or not. You know when something is off. Those are your senses, your um direction that you need to go check this out, right?
yes, yes.
Mhm.
And what is the saying? Ignorance of the law is no excuse, right? So if we're going 70 miles, well, let me talk for myself because I do have a need for speed. So if I'm going 70 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone, whether I know it's 55 miles per hour or not, when the police pull me over and tell me that I was speeding, oh, officer, I didn't know. That's beside the point. You
Mm-hmm.
broke the law, and this is the result. So, not knowing cost, it
Yes.
cost
Mhm.
not knowing what your health situations are. And what better ego boost than it is to be able to tell somebody I'm healthy, right?
Right.
I'm
Right.
I'm as healthy as I can possibly be. I can run a marathon, not going to, but I could, you know. Yeah, so
Oh, damn.
ooh, here we go.
Woo.
Now you said this. Now, Jacqueline, you talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah's saying maybe African American men would be more proactive if they saw more medical care providers that look like them. Come on, many
Yes.
African American healthcare providers came out of the woodwork due to pandemic. Let's talk about that, Jacqueline, because you mentioned that.
I did. I listened to the radio this week, and a doctor, a physician, a black physician, was talking about the fact that, in his opinion, you get better health care from somebody who is of your same ethnicity, right? They're familiar with predisposed issues that you may have, and it's not necessary to be the tester, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have physicians sometimes if they're not familiar, they'll write you a prescription and another prescription and another prescription and another prescription. How about if you knew the predestined or the things that that um, were familiar to that ethnicity, right,
Yes.
or that region, wherever the person is, then you don't have to, go through the heartache or the heartbreak or the buildup, if you will, right? Oh, I went to the doctor, but the medicine is not working. This condition is like, are you taking the medicine properly? Should you be taking this medication? So, absolutely agree with you, Deborah. It is important that you make a list first of all the things that's bothering you, right, or all the things that you think should be tested, right? Because you have a limited time in that office when you walk in the back and you can't say, "Oh, I'll remember it." because first of all, you have that, what's that called? That stress, that when they take your blood pressure, because the anxiety of going to the doctor, the
Yes.
blood pressure is higher and they have to take it again, right? There's already a built up stress. So write it down, take a picture, make a list of all of the things so that everything can be covered, so that you're covered, right? Regardless. And again, like you said, it costs not knowing, right? It costs you not knowing. You don't want to lose precious time. So please, I mean, I know I often, even for everything else, shopping, I do my reviews, right? If I
Yes.
recommended a doctor, like for my acupuncture, right? I never had acupuncture before, and there was an acupuncturist that was down the street, but they didn't have too many reviews, and because of that, I travel 45 miles to go to my
Wow.
acupuncturist because the reviews said it all, right? So
Yes.
again, you can Google like you would if you're comparing buying a TV or whatever it is, right? People do not have a problem speaking about good or bad service. So please, you have all of these options now, right? Even if you need help or assistance, right, and you don't have the best health care, there's a version of something that's economical for everybody. You have to do your research.
Absolutely. And Ada, you are a champion of natural healthcare approaches as well. Um, Now, have you seen a lot of natural or alternative medicine individuals that are people of color?
Um, that's a good question. I really have not. I really can't speak to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know any people of color wellness programs. But one thing is that I know the people of color that speak about the things that we should do
Hmm.
naturally, like they'll tell you what juices to make and certain roots to take and all of that, and there are people of color like Dr. Sebi
Yes.
and there's others out there, and you can get some really, really great information. Today I was looking at this video, and it was speaking about people that suffer with neuropathy in their feet and hands, and how doctors give them GABA
Oh
something medicine.
gosh. Yes, I've heard of that.
Okay. They give you medicine, but the medicine is not the cure.
Mm.
You have to get to the root of the problem, and they don't usually get to the root of the problem. What they do is give you like a band-aid. The medicine, it doesn't help, and it also affects other things in your body, like your organs, and it messes you up. So what they did suggest was that it's called nerve plaque. It's just like having your arteries in your heart.
Mm,
Um, well, there's plaque that goes in the nerves, which causes, that's it,
that's it.
gabapentin.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
I
All
was
right.
looking
thank
it
you.
up. That's it.
Yes. So they talked about the nerve plaque, and there's certain things that you can take, and it was so interesting. There was a medicine, well, not a medicine, it's all natural,
Mhm.
and they say the FDA doesn't usually like to approve things because they don't make money off of it.
Correct.
No, there's no profit. So, but there's so many natural cures and things that you can do to help reverse, help take the plaque away, decrease the plaque in the nerves, or whatever the case may be. So that was very, very interesting. But that is true for everything. You have to get to the root of the problem, know what it is, and there's always a way that you can get around having to take medicine forever that will never cure you, and just go the natural route.
And then
So Ada, if you can
yes.
find that video,
Yes.
and we'll tag it right later. We'll go
You
in
Oh,
the
that's
know,
right.
comments.
Because Trudell said she needs that video. She said it
Yeah.
like twice.
this is the thing. The video, I was on IG and no, YouTube,
Okay.
and you know how they have those
Oh,
commercials,
yes.
and so it was on there, but it was someone speaking. He was a Christian actually, and The name of the product, hold on. I'm gonna go to my
Okay.
photos because I did take a picture.
Now we talked about while Ada is looking at retirement, right?
Hmm.
And my good sister is also on, Deborah.
Hmm.
Deborah is retiring next week.
Woo!
And I am so happy and so sad at the same time. Because I mean, that's where we met. That's where we merged, right? That's why we reconnected, right? She is my sister in life. She is just so precious to me. But I'm
Deborah
so
said, "Praise
happy
God." I know that's right.
that she gets to retire with her health intact, right? Continue
Yes.
going to be able to continue to work and to earn, what she worked so hard for all of these years, right? Accomplishing. I'm just so happy and sad. So congratulations, Deborah, to your pending retirement.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
And so talking about the root. Now maybe that's another challenge too with men, right? With men's health and in the black and brown community is that if somebody tells us we have to stop eating fried chicken, fried foods and, things that would cause the plaque to build up in our body and so on and so forth, we are like later for you, right?
Well, the great thing about that is now, right? We have technology, right? We've evolved. Air fryers are everywhere, right? There are mushrooms that do taste like fried chicken. Okay, there's no excuse. We are the most creative people on the planet, right?
And I agree. But just the concept, if you tell somebody that they can't have something that they grew up on, and it's maybe a Sunday staple or something like that, and to stop eating that, how that would turn their health around, it's just like, no, I'm going to keep doing what I want to do, and I'll keep taking the medicine, and pop the pills. So I will show y'all this book that I got by a black. Which mushrooms are those? Oh, I can tell you the mushrooms, Shadell. Let me,
Oh
let me,
yeah.
yeah. So let me.
Actually, yeah, there's a few. I'm not gonna give plugs because we're not getting paid for plugs, but there's somebody who's popular in the vegan community, several different types of mushrooms. However, um, also cauliflower is another option
A
substitute.
cauliflower steak is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
The thickness is like meaty, but portobello mushrooms is one large mushroom that
Mm-hmm.
you can cook up, season that
Mm,
thing right, and you think
mm.
that you having, a filet
A
mignon.
burger.
That's it.
I used to eat it. Yes, when I was
Like I,
vegan or whatever,
I
that
love
was my
that.
go-to.
Sometimes I'll
Yes,
play around and I'll say
delicious.
whores divorce
That's
instead of hors
it.
d'oeuvres. So
Right. So you hook that portobello mushroom up right, and it tastes like a steak. Then there's this other mushroom, Tabitha Brown. There's this other mushroom that she takes, and I love crab cakes. I'm from Maryland, and she shreds it up in such a way and makes it, and she uses that to make the vegetarian version of crab cakes, and it tastes just like a crab cake. So y'all keep talking. I'm gonna pull this book now. I'm gonna show you the book.
mhm.
it's got a it's got a swear word in it.
Mhm.
However, the recipes are fire,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
And vegetarian based, very flavorful vegetarian options. But again, another example of a woman of color, someone of color, taking recipes and things that we love to eat, but doing it in a vegetarian way. So y'all keep talking. Wow, I go
Okay.
grab that book.
I'm going to start throwing it out there. Mark your calendars. July 13th, Thursday, between 4 and 7. You'll start seeing the advertisement soon. We are finally going to have a live Daddy's Girls Talk event in person in Maryland. So please mark your calendars. I believe we will have the opportunity to broadcast live as well. So if you can't make it in person, we will definitely welcome you to come virtually, and we're getting everything together, Eventbrite, all of the things. So can't tell you how excited I am to be in the same room with these powerhouses, these daddy's girls, my sisters, some
Yes.
other misters. It's coming. It's finally coming. I'm so happy.
I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. Okay, so here is this is Pinky Cole, and we're not getting paid for this, but we shout out our folks and good products, right? Pinky Cole, CEO and founder of Slutty Vegan ATL, and
Yes.
it's Eat Plants You See, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um
Mm-hmm.
91 vegan recipes that will blow your meat loving mind. Okay.
That is on
So,
my list, Slutty Vegan. I mean, I was mad. Actually, we had a ATL event for Journey to Greatness,
oh,
and
yes.
it was closed on Mondays, and I was we left on that Monday after the event, so I wasn't able to get to Slutty Vegan, and it's that was 2019.
There's
So
one in Harlem now,
have
and
you tried it, and
I
have you had the
haven't,
original to see the difference? Because I've heard,
I haven't been there yet.
okay,
Mm. And it's on 135th, so it's not far from me.
okay.
But I haven't been. I don't know. I kind of forgot she was in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay. So then next time we all
Yeah.
meet up,
Well,
we
we do
can
plan on taking this on the road, right? So Maryland is the
absolutely.
first stop. We'll have some other Maryland stops as well. However, we are going to come to the NYC, and we're going to have Daddy's Girl Live there as well. So, yeah, let's
Yes.
see what we could do about, possibly catering some things, right?
Absolutely. So talk in the prevention and getting to the root of things, finding good better ways to eat because we are what we eat. A number of our illnesses and ailments are a result of what we are ingesting and taking into our body. I had a gentleman, a guy friend of mine, who is, who's midlife and having some challenges, um, intimacy challenges. And when he went to the doctor to get it checked out, the first thing the doctor said is, "Hey, all these years of eating meat for him, again, I'm not saying don't eat meat, please, of eating meat that is farm raised, pumped with hormones and all that kind of stuff in the body, over time, he just overloaded his body. So his doctor recommended eating less meat. She was just like, I'm not even saying take it all the way out your diet because you're in your 60s and you've been doing it all this time. So even if you just take it down and eat one meat a day for one meal and see how that will change your life. And even still, single black man, interested in meeting somebody, having some intimacy challenges, is still like, yeah, no, I'm not giving up the meat.
I think you have a great testimony in regards to giving up meat. We're not saying that you have to,
Correct.
but if you've missed that episode, can you reiterate what giving up meats did for your health and
For
being a cancer
yes,
survivor, please?
for me, and again, I'm not saying anybody else give up meat. So for 1 year surveillance is what I was told after surgery and all that kind of stuff. 1 year surveillance turned into 4 years of surveillance. And I was tired of every 6 months having to get the blood panel done and all of that stuff because every 6 months I was getting nervous, scared. What are you looking for? Are you, so on and so forth. And so finally going to an alternative medicine, what is an integrative medicine facility. And they had encouraged me to cut out the refined sugars, cut out dairy, gluten, and meat. I said I'll cut back a little bit on the dairy and all that kind of stuff, but I did go ahead and cut out the meat. And I love meat. Love it. Okay? And so I cut out the meat in October. December, June and December are my 6 month marks, where I had to get the panels done and things like that. So I stopped in October eating meat. December, I go in to do my blood panel. In January, I go in to meet with my doctor. And she says to me, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. Your numbers have not looked this good. Okay. And I will see you in 1 year for your regular physical. No more of this 6 months surveillance. So that's what it did for me, because someone sent me a video. Oh, I will find it. I will have to put it in the feed. But
Mhm.
it was one video talking about meat, the impacts of meat, where the physician who took three high school football players, star high school football players, high school. Okay, so we're
Mhm.
not even talking middle age. High schoolers. One day they came in and they had tacos. They prepared them three tacos. They had three meals in that day. After each meal of tacos, they drew blood. The first taco was a vegetarian. They drew blood. The second taco for lunch was a meat taco. They drew blood. The third taco of the day, a veggie taco, they drew blood. They went to sleep that night, ran all the blood work. The next day, these three-star football players, three blood panels, when they held up the blood after they had two meat tacos, the blood looked like clouds.
Wow.
You could not even see,
See.
you couldn't see through the tube.
Mhm.
But after they had the veggie taco, you could see clean through the vial of blood, what they mix it in or whatever. You could see clean through.
Right.
That is so true. Someone had shared with me they had to get off a chicken because, every time he went for his blood work, it would stay in his blood work for like 3 weeks before he get good blood. And so he had to stop eating chicken because, the chickens are, um, they shoot them up with all kind of antibiotics or whatever to
And
make them
hormones.
and hormones
Yes.
make them bigger than they
Yep.
actually are. And that stuff is going into our bloodstream and our system
Right.
and causing inflammation and all kind of other issues in our body. So it's so true. And I also heard this week about if you have to have meat, try to stick to lamb. Lamb is healthier than the
I
actual red meat.
I
They
just
usually
spoke
say
about lamb
they
yesterday
usually
that I
say
just started.
venison and lamb is good for you,
Mhm.
especially if you're B positive, if for your blood type, because they have foods according to your blood type. A lot of times, you get sick because you eat a certain food that doesn't agree with your blood type. So, there's a lot of different things that you need to know. Like Daddy says, we perish for a lack of knowledge. He says,
That's right.
my people perish for a lack of knowledge. So we do have to educate ourselves and we have to do the research on, our body type and our blood type and just do everything in moderation if you must have it, but we shouldn't have certain things all the time, and if it's not doing the body any good.
Yeah, True said I'm gonna starve. I only eat fish, turkey, lamb, and chicken.
You have to be careful with the turkey also because it
and the
also
fish,
has,
and the fish. We love
yeah,
fish, but
yeah, not
I
all
mean,
fish. It has to have scales.
Yes.
well,
I am Ada sent me the text, so I'm gonna
yeah,
try
I
to type
saw
it
the
in the
update.
text.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Mm.
So when on the replay in the comments, they'll see the links. Correct.
I'm trying to figure out how to get it in
Now,
there.
I'm not promoting the company. I'm just saying this is just something I ran across today. But I do know for a fact that, there's certain things that we could do naturally that can help, turn a situation around. You also have to be careful when you take certain herbs if you're on medication, because it could
Yes.
interact with your medication. That's the
Yes.
only thing. If you're not on medicine, then it's no problem. But if you're taking medicine, you have to make sure that it doesn't impact or affect the medicine that you're taking.
Well, we have, this is all from being
I'm not a
exposed.
doctor. I'm not
Right, being
promoting anything. I'm
exposed
just
and being
sharing.
open to suggestion, right? It's just
Okay.
having a conversation. And so again, to the men, right?
Yes.
You have women around you who will gladly help, right? And research these things. If just please, we need you. We want you to be around. You want to be around, we want you to be around, right? And we don't want to have to spend it in doctor's offices all the time,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Somebody on this feed said that they, their future partner cannot have any major medical major medical issues. So I would just heed to that, right? I mean, you have a perfect example. Some gentleman that is having intimate
Correct.
troubles and still ego, bravado, or
Correct.
just habit, right? I'm going to still have what I want. You're going to have what you want, and you're going to
Yes.
have a shorter trip or a sooner trip to your final resting place.
Yes. 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 So I
And
just put in the chat. We're not medical doctors. We're just talking about
absolutely
what we
not.
know has worked for us or individuals that we know. You can eat meat till the cows come home. You can
Hmm.
do whatever you want to do. We just we just want to offer some encouragement, and support.
And also sugar. Sugar is like the
Sugar.
number one killer. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So I stopped with the sugar since February. I lost weight.
That's right.
I used to love getting my little sweets, going to get my little funny bones and chocolate cakes.
What is a funny bone?
Funny bone is a chocolate little cake that
What?
it's like shaped
I have
like
seen it
this,
shaped like a bone.
and it has peanut butter inside.
It's like a it's
What?
like a it's like a ding dong, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's shaped
So
like a
I'm a chocolate
bone,
lover.
and
So
instead
I
of
Oh
had
my.
to
cream,
stop
it
it.
has peanut butter.
I had to stop buying the chocolate covered almonds.
Lisa,
No,
can
you
I
you
love
don't. Let me.
I
No, you
I
don't. Let me show
love
you what
the
you can
dark
get.
chocolate. I love the dark chocolate. But I'm saying is I was eating it every day, and it's just not good. I have to do it in moderation if when I do it. But I'm saying that to say I had to stop bringing that stuff into my house. The
right?
dairy also caused my body inflammation. So I
Yeah.
just had to cut all of that stuff out. I go to the grocery store now with this app that I have called Yuka, Yuka. It has a carrot on it. Honey, everything I scan is poor that I used to buy. I have to put it back. I said, we can't
Oh,
buy
sugar
this
free.
anymore.
So, what does sugar free?
So
What does
here's
that
the.
taste like?
Okay. So
But
here's the thing.
sugar free has the that artificial sweeteners. What's in there?
Listen. Listen. I love my chocolate.
What brand is that?
This is this is Russell Stover. It's sugar free. So the thing that they told me I can have is stevia because it's a plant.
So it has stevia in it?
This is stevia, not
Okay,
aspartame,
so that's
not
good.
that
Yes.
chemical stuff
Absolutely.
that will
That's
kill
good.
you.
That's
Boom
a
bing.
natural sweetener.
I
Yes.
got these out the freezer. I keep those in the freezer. So when I
Oh, okay. All
need a
right
little
now.
sweet,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I
That's
do.
good to know. That's good
Yes.
to know. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, we have to be so careful with the sugar and stuff that says
Added sugars as
diet,
well.
diet. Look what's in the word diet. DIE.
Aspartame.
Right.
Aspartame. And
It's
just
not
because
good.
something says sugar free, you have
It's
to
not.
look and see if it's
Yes.
the chemically manufactured
Yes.
sugar.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Mm.
So I mean, so look. What they say? I'm about it. I'm telling you.
I love it.
You know what? So I get a lot of feedback, right? And I get feedback from these two ladies who are on right now. And I'm going to share Deb. So Deb was told me this week we were talking, and she said she was talking to her mom, and she said I felt like Dr. Lisa. She said I felt that in my shana na. So I mean all these little sayings and colloquialisms, and
That's
so
right.
I'm
Super
telling
low.
you,
No good.
the message
That's
is being
good.
carried, right? And even on replays, right? We have been asking for subject matters. We do
Mm-hmm.
matter. We do care about what you want us to talk about, right? And we do our best, and then Daddy just shows up, right? We the spirit leads. So thank you for tuning in and playing on the replay. But we would love to have comments, right? We like to know. We would like to hear your feedback. So please provide your feedback and let us know if there's something that's inspired you, if there's a subject matter that we haven't touched on as mature women, and because that's what we're here for, right?
Yes.
We're taking the private conversations
Yep.
to the vlog, and we're bringing that live as well. So
And
please,
yes, and stuff we wish people would have talked about, right?
yes,
That
Mm-hmm.
that we would have known, yeah, and some different choices we may have made
Yes.
earlier.
yes,
Another thing too that's important is what you put on your body, your products. You have to make sure that you're using products that don't have all those chemicals because they do go into your bloodstream. Even the hair products. Um, I was a little upset because I thought that I was buying that Miel product,
Hmm.
right.
rice water, and
Mm-hmm.
supposedly it's a black-owned company. Well, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
It's Procter and Gamble. Okay,
Oh.
they just used the black face to sell it.
Yes.
So I
Mm-hmm.
scanned it on Yuka, the app, and it's poor. So now I bought the products and can't use it.
Yeah.
And I called the company, and there's nothing that they could do for me.
Well, I tell you again, we're not telling you what to do. But when my mom goes for her hair salon, they called her and told her they are no longer doing perms
That's another thing. I had to stop doing perms.
because
So,
they said the unhealthy
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
and the medical impacts that they
yes,
can no longer do it because basically it's like giving somebody a drug and how
right,
they can be held accountable
yes.
for providing that chemical service. So
Mm-hmm,
so they're not even the salon is not even doing perms anymore.
mm-hmm. I mean, even the color, I used to like to go get my little rinse. I've been having my little grays popping in over here. I haven't had it done. I said I can't even do that as often. But it's a rinse. It's nothing permanent, no
Right.
dye, but still.
Right, you can make your own rice water. Like
Yes,
I just started this
yes,
year drinking oat milk, but
that's so true.
I'm gonna learn how to make, because they say there's several steps, but you can make your own oat milk as well. And
Yes,
I've been
yes,
lactose intolerant for quite some time.
yes,
Look,
yes.
most
However,
people of color are lactose intolerant. They just eat ice cream and drink milk and just blow everybody up all around them. You know what I'm saying?
no, ma'am.
Yes. But not only that, it's this was what causes all that inflammation.
Yes.
Right, the dairy, right?
And then you have
Yes.
all this pain, and you're like, why am I having all this pain? It's the inflammation from all
Yep.
that stuff. The hormones in the meats, the dairy, it's just a lot.
Yes. So we look again, we are real women, real midlife, real talk. Because we want us to be the best version of ourselves. And guess what? Men, we want you to be the best version of yourself too. So we can, live as long as we can, enjoy
Mhm.
life together for as long as we can. Healthy existence. We want to be like our sister Deborah and retire in good health and be able to enjoy ourselves. Shoot, be like Ada,
Mhm.
retire in good health.
Right,
And
right.
and what we got to ask her, where are you? When is the next plane ride you getting on? That's the kind of life that we want to live, is being able to travel and enjoy life to the fullest. And we want you to do the same. And so stay tuned. We will be back next week. Daddy's Girl event is coming up in July. We're going to have more information for you because we want to be able to make sure you get your ticket.
Yes.
I mean, I'm telling you, we're excited. So we're going to start off, kick it off in the DMV area, and then we're going to take it on the road. So we want to hear from you if you want us to come to your area. You know, I don't love airplanes. We love traveling.
Traveling.
Aida and Jacqueline love themselves an airplane. I will get on because it's
And a passport.
and a passport. Yes, we don't mind getting stamps.
You know what? It's not that I love the airplanes, but they get you there
That's
faster.
true. Yes.
And then there's some places you just can't
And you
drive.
just can't drive, right? And we don't
Right.
mind going over water, going to places where we got to cross bodies of water and things like that. So when I tell you we're excited, we are super, super
Love you
excited.
back. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Yes. So, oh yes, the hair dyes as well. Yes. Oh my
So
gosh.
what about henna or natural hair dyes? Like, have you tried those, Ada? Can you speak to those at all?
You know, to be honest, I don't think any of that stuff is good because it has color. You know, they have to use that red dye or whatever to give it color. None of that stuff is good.
Okay.
You know, that's why a lot of women have accepted going gray, and they gracefully just letting their hair go gray, the full headed, and they look beautiful.
Yes.
You know, the culture says you got to have your hair straight. You have to have,
No.
you know, it has to look dark, or it has to be red, or it has to be this, or you have to do what's healthy for you.
Yes.
I had to stop with the perms. I'll go get a wash and set and let her blow it, and even the heat. It's just not always good, but I don't do it as often now that I'm not going into the
Yes.
workplace where I have to have my hair looking a certain way all the time.
You
You
know,
know,
fly all the time.
Look,
work or no work.
When I saw her in right, because when I saw you in Harlem, she look hair blowing in the wind, just bouncing all over the place. I was like, I'm loving it. Okay.
Yes.
Loving it. And you can crochet braid it like I do mine. And and look, and you can put all the color you want, any color hair they got.
That's true, right? I love to protect the style.
Yes, absolutely.
I do.
Absolutely. Because the henna, I tried the henna before years ago, and that dried my hair out. So the same kind of thing, because it's still a chemical. There was still some chemical in there. But yes, and look, and so here's your laugh. So I saw the movie Good Hair with Chris Rock.
Right.
That's
yeah.
Back in 19 whatever year it was, and that's when I stopped getting perms.
Creamy crack.
Creamy crack. Right. Because I didn't want to find myself in a nursing home. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if I was ever old enough to be in a facility and I'd had that cockeyed wig on my head, I did not want.
And we know that you're gonna find a way to naturally get your hair purple.
What you talking about? I want to be the old lady in the nursing home with purple hair. Even if all they got to do is shampoo it and twist it, and untwist it with my purple hair. Because I was like, just in case I couldn't get a perm, right? And then I'd be the one with the wig and, looking like I'm the, that's not cute. And I want to be running around the nursing home just in case I'm still single. Hey, Mr. Jones, I see you,
I see you. I see you came.
Stop it.
Flirting has never hurt
beautiful
anybody.
Thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It helps keep. That's it.
It's a beautiful thing.
Y'all see, we have a good time. Anyway, we will see you next week, and we look forward to having another good discussion. Daddy's Girls Talk. Real women, real midlife, and real talk. Y'all have a good one.
They have a blessed one.
Oh my God.